In the 90s, Extreme Championship Wrestling revolutionized the pro wrestling industry, bringing its hardcore style to fans all over the United States. Nothing was off limits. Chairs, tables, barbed wire, and blood. Today, we get extreme with ECW's former King of the Streets, Angel.
Extreme Championship.
All right, man. Few questions for you. First off, how did you get your start in wrestling?
Oh, I think I started wrestling.
Yes.
Johnny Rods. He was doing a special on a New York news show about the school, and I always liked wrestling, so that's all what sparked my interest.
All right. That kind of answered my next question. Were you a pretty big fan of it growing up?
Yeah, pretty much. I became a fan of it when I was 14. After a friend of mine showed me a magazine of the Four Horsemen. Like in junior high school.
Okay. How and when did you get involved with ECW?
How I got involved with ECW is because of Devon. Me and Devon are good friends, and during that time, Devon was already doing the dummies, and he invited me down to hang out, and had to work out and in the ring with the boys, Guido, Robin, them, all the boys that were in the ring, and Paul Heyman liked what he saw, and he told me to stick around.
Can you tell me a little bit about the first time you met Paul Heyman?
Oh, he's very, Paul is just a very, bigger than life type of person, very friendly, it's just like, whatever he says is kind of like inspirational, gives you those pep talks. He's a cool guy, he's just really down to earth.
Okay. In, I believe, 1999, ECW signed on with TNN for a weekly TV show. How, if at all, did the show change working for ECW?
It didn't really change much. All it was TV and more, of course, more TV time. It was still the same locker room, and nothing really changed.
Okay.
So, it was just, just another transition.
Okay. What's the difference between, everybody knows and hears about an ECW crowd, sometimes being crazy, sometimes, being really as much a part of the show as the wrestlers are. What's it like, the differences between working in front of a typical crowd and in front of an ECW crowd?
Well, ECW crowd, if you compare it to like indie shows to an ECW show, my opinion is that the ECW crowd is just get into it. They love their wrestlers, and it was just a different environment. It was just electricity in the air. I'm not knocking the indie shows and stuff, but it's just it was just a different vibe. You just got a different feeling.
Right.
Out of the shows when we went to ECW shows, everybody was involved in some form of fashion,
Little more energized?
Yeah, just electricity, you just feel it in the air.
Oh yeah. I remember your feud with New Jack quite a bit. What was it like working with him?
Working with New Jack was cool. You know, I mean, he was laid back. You know, he always took care of me in the ring. You know, I have nothing bad to say about New Jack because he was always, you know, always done me right. You know, so you know all the stories that everybody talks about. You know, he's you know hot-headed and stuff like that. I never seen that on my side. I mean, yeah, I saw it in action when you know when he goes against people or people he didn't get along with. But we had a good working relationship. I love working with him.
What do you remember from? I believe it was Living Dangerously 2000, where he and Vic Grimes took that pretty bad spill off the scaffolding.
Oh, you're talking about the Connecticut incident?
Yes, yes.
Well, originally I was supposed to do that spot, and during that time, I would have done it, but it was the way they had it set up was that scaffold was more of a storage thing for sheets.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have a ground, they didn't have a floor. It had like beams going across it, like real thin beams. So I just didn't like it. I didn't want to do it. If they would have got a big old thing of a sheet, you know, just a floor of a piece of wood, a big old piece of wood to just match it, I would have definitely done the spot. But I just didn't like it, and I said I ain't doing it. So Big Grimes was like, "Well, I'll do it," and I was like, "All right, you do it. You kill yourself." And you know, he decided to do it. You know, it was messed up because you know, I mean, Vic just didn't prepare himself, especially landing on Jack. You know,
Right, and I think I remember hearing. I believe it was on the one of the DVDs. What was it? Hardcore, Forever Hardcore, something like that. New Jack was talking about how he had brain fluid coming out or something like that, and he was blind in one eye.
well, they said, I mean, I never saw the brain fluid come out of his head. I mean, like I said, I was supposed to be laid out, and yeah, he was hurt, but I don't remember seeing anything because they took him away.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I heard, you know, he said he lost a certain percentage of vision out of one eye. What else? I think that's it, really. I mean, I think memory loss. I think it was. He said.
Right. Obviously, you know, injuries are a big part of wrestling. They do sometimes happen. What's maybe like the biggest injury you've ever had?
My biggest injury? Just being set on fire during the November 2011 pay-per-view in Chicago. I think that was the one that was kind of considered the worst. You know, because I never really, I mean, thank God, knock on wood, I never really sustained a serious injury.
Right.
You know, that one that I consider like, you know, being set on fire, you know.
Can't be fun.
Yeah, it hurts.
Oh yeah. What are your thoughts on the closing of ECW, and why do you think the company ultimately did go under?
The reason I think the company went under is because I mean, Paul just didn't want to accept the fact that you know he was taking too much. You know, it's not responsibility, but just you know, he was just. I heard stories that you know he was not taking money, but you know what I'm saying, taking more than how can I explain it?
Taking on more than he could handle.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, just feeling, you know, just taking the money and putting it into something else, and I mean, you know, it was just more to it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Were you ever contacted to be a part of the initial One Night Stand pay-per-view or WWE's rebranding of ECW?
Yeah, I was. I spoke to Tommy. Financially, it was not good. They were paying the wrestlers at the time. It must be like in the amount of like 700 and I'm just gonna say I know it was 700, but it was 700 and change. It was supposed to say 750, and it was just. I mean, if you look at the big picture of it, it was you get paid $750 a week, and you're traveling. You got paid for your hotel and your rental car and your food, and Vince wanted you to dress in like you know 3-piece suits because you know during that time that's when the NBA and the NFL had that guideline saying, oh, you know, you need to dress appropriate when you come to the arena.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted you to dress nice, for $250 a week and all those expenses. How much were you really bringing home?
Probably not a whole lot.
Yeah, so for me to, they, they wanted me to do it, but I wanted to do it, but I just knew, it was just not beneficial. I mean, there's a difference between, when I was in my 20s and marking out, oh my God, I'm going to go to WWE, you know, and do it for $20 a night, just to say
Right.
that you have a family and a kid, and you got to just look at the bigger picture, like, okay, I got to make a living, before it was just like, pocket money and just wrestling.
Right. I mean, looking back on it, with the way everything did end up turning out with WWE's ECW product, are you happy that you didn't take the job?
Well, the only thing, yeah, I was happy I didn't take the job, and two, the only reason Vince did what he did, and this is my opinion, and, he might say something different, but he wanted to kill off the brand. He wanted to get his boys over, which, again, I'm not knocking Mike Knox and CM Punk or,
Mm-hmm.
knocking them, but if you just start watching the videos, you can see that it was just trying to get their boys over on the ECW guys and kill ECW.
Right. I know you keep active on the indie scene, but what are you up to these days outside of wrestling?
Well, I have a regular job. I try to keep busy, but trying to keep spend my be with my family and just have a regular job. But I mean, I still keep wrestling, still do appearances. I'm doing a show in Canada on March 2nd, called the Hardcore Road Trip.
Mm-hmm.
I did the ECW reunion, so I'm just pretty much busy with the wrestling as well.
Do you still keep in touch with some of the former ECW guys?
Oh yeah, all the time. I speak to Devon, Tommy, Vito, CW, what else? Homicide. I mean, I always keep in contact with the boys. I know Devon's busy, so I just call him periodically. I mean, he won't mind me calling him every day or every other day. But, I just like to give him, the space because he's busy. And I still keep in contact with Stevie Richards and, Mimi and stuff. I mean, they're all on my Facebook and on my Twitter, so.
Mm-hmm. Would you mind taking a couple minutes to do some word association?
Sure, no problem.
All right. First one that comes to mind, I know we touched on him a little bit in the beginning, but Paul Heyman.
Genius.
Tommy Dreamer.
Hell of a friend.
Let's go with Devon Dudley.
Always dependable.
Steve Corino.
Let me think. Steve Corino. Unique.
Just Incredible.
Great guy.
All right, and finally, let's think of one more really good one here. Maybe, let's go with New Jack since we talked about him a little bit as well.
That's a funny motherfucker.
are some of the stories about the guy true? When he gets angry at some people that he just, literally goes nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I see him, lose it. I mean, but that's Jack. He never lost it with me because I'm just like, I'm just I don't know. I made him get along, but there's some people you just lose it to because some guys just don't know when to shut up or
when to stop pushing his buttons.
Yeah, and they push his buttons or they say something that not appropriate.
Right. Lastly, before I let you go, anything you would like to say to your fans?
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out on that, the Hardcore Road Trip. I mean, this looks like something that's going to take off, and, there's some, future things that looks like it's in the works with this company, and, I appreciate all the fans that supported me through the years, and, and there's more to come.
All right, man. Well, thank you for taking a little bit of time to talk to me today. I will get this posted on my site, and I'll send you a link as well.
Sure, I appreciate it. I can put it on my Facebook.
Sounds good. Thank you, man.
Oh, anytime, man. Anytime you want to, just hit me up.
All right, we'll stay in touch, man.
All right, thanks, bro.
Thanks, man. We'll see you.
All right, bye.